We're back, son. I hope
Laughs.
that the people laugh. I hope that the people that want to laugh come laugh. The people that don't want to laugh, laugh anyway. And the haters, well, I hope you hate it, and that makes us laugh. We're not doing it to offend. We're doing it to bring everybody together and to laugh. I think, you know, the world has gotten to such a toxic place that you question comedy. And we just, you know, put 5 jokes per page to try and make people laugh, and hopefully you get some.
Just know that if we did offend you, we offended everybody. You ain't the only one.
Equal opportunity offenders. I think it was the same thing that we did when we made Scary Movie 1 and 2. Same thing with Don't Be a Menace. It's just, let's try and make each other laugh, and if it makes us, we'll laugh.
A stack of movies, some lunch, some green tea, some coffee, sometimes some chocolate from Marlon when he's not being cheap.
I think it's important for them to ignite their sense of humor, to go laugh, to sit in the theater with a bunch of people, a bunch of strangers, and feel what it's like to just laugh and have a good time.
And keep the experience, movie theater going experience alive. We need it in the culture. It's important.
It's important for y'all.
It's important for everybody.
And your
we
spirit.
need to support the theaters. We got to support movies. It's important.
The Wayans brothers finally got their franchise back. What was beloved about Scary Movie, what made it iconic, was the Wayans brothers and me and Regina Hall. Scary Movie was my very first audition in LA. Scary Movie was my origin story.
Oh my God. It's crazy. These days are always so busy, go, but it's so nice. I think in the last 10 minutes of the car ride here, I was just able to like breathe and just get so excited to see all these beautiful people around me, because I haven't seen some of them like since the show, so it's very exciting. I think we're all just dying to come together and laugh about something. We can all laugh about so many things in this movie together. It's gonna be a freaking blast. I've never done a comedy before. I'm not used to being surrounded by these like incredible, world-renowned comedians. I mean, everyone in this movie, from to Marlon to all the other new kids on the block. Like, I'm just so excited for everyone to see it. Nurse Ratchett, played by Haim Mazar, she pulled the craziest shit out of her booty. In every single take, she had something different to deliver, and just ideas and everything. So Haim Wayans, and it's so hard because as I'm saying that, I'm remembering like 5 other things from different people that I just, so much. I think we need a separate edit of the movie with just blooper reels, or just like different takes that aren't gonna make the movie, because the movie can't be 10 hours long, but there was just so much good juice that's not going to even be in the film, probably. So I think you're going to be laughing your head off, but I think there's also a fair amount of heart in this movie, without trying to do it. But I do think people will leave this theater hopefully feeling more connected to their family in some weird way, and more connected to their loved ones. I know that's not something you would expect, but yeah, I feel like that's in there.
Oh, it was such an honor. You know, I grew up with them, idolizing them, watching all of their films, and I got into the business to do comedy, so it was such an honor when I got that phone call and they were like, you're going to be a part of the franchise. I was like, wait, what? Like, this is so crazy. So I actually found out when I was at jury duty, and one of the craziest stories, I was sitting there and my agent called me and she was like, hey, so you got it. And I was like, wait, what? And I had to be super quiet and I couldn't say anything because it was all like super secretive. But yeah, I was at jury duty, which is a wild way to find out, but very like scary movie vibes, I feel like. I've learned to just go for it and not to be afraid to just try things. And the thing is, you get really spoiled working with them because they're so collaborative and they're so open to your ideas and hearing your new jokes that you might bring to the table. So I will say I've become way more confident in my ability as an actor to also give my ideas or give my new joke ideas or things like that. I really, really loved it. I thought it was such a funny way to like go out with it. And I'll just say this, there was a lot of moments that involved like something hitting me in the face. And at one point I was like, Anna, just go for it, own it. And she did. And I loved it. Every second of it was amazing.
He's the funniest man I've ever worked with. And I mean, the Wayans, obviously, it goes without saying, but I want to shout out Dave Sheridan because he is a true genius. And he taught me everything I know about coming to set and just abandoning all fear and just being not scared to look stupid or weird and just do it. You know what I mean? I learned that you will always regret it if you don't bring that idea instantly to the first take. You will always be wondering what if. And it is never worth wondering what if, when you can just be like, at least I tried it. And there were plenty of ideas I tried on this movie and that everybody tried that didn't work, but it was so much better to have done them and failed than to be like, what if I had tried that? Because on all the ones that I was like, oh, I'm scared to share this or do it, they all turned out great. Yeah, it was an amazing lesson.
Right now, man, I'm just excited, a little bit overwhelmed just to finally be like a big part of a family movie. And I'm just excited that scary movies are back with our family so that people can start laughing again. I just studied Mason Gooding, honestly, from Scream 5 and 6. My character is pretty much based off his character, so I watched a lot of you, Mason. Well, how about as soon as we finish filming, I go to Marlon's house, the first thing he says is, we didn't cut you out the movie. I was like, what, how am I supposed to take that? But that's how it is, man.
I'm so happy. I love this cast. I love this movie. It's honestly like one of the joys of my life to be here and be funny and crazy and like make people laugh. I think we as a society have diminished the human experience by just watching everything from our screens at home by ourselves. And I think when it comes to like horror specifically and comedy specifically, like those are probably one of the very few genres where you get a visceral reaction with the audience and from the audience. So I love that people are from all generations, all walks of life are like so highly anticipating this movie and they're just excited to like be a community and laugh again. And the Wayans do it the best every time. So I think they're gonna be like, this was way more unhinged than I thought it was gonna be. And I hope that they're happy. I hope that they're offended. I hope that they run and tell that. I'm like, go on and see it again, because if you miss something, you're gonna wanna come back. It's crazy. It's such a huge ensemble, and I didn't get an opportunity to work every single day on set. But I will say from my own experience, Dave, who plays Doofy, he is so in character always, and he's just epic on set. Like his ad-libs, his runs, like my ad-libs working with him and what he's feeding us. Like there was one scene in the movie where it's like mostly everybody in one scene, and it was just a fun-ass couple of days. Like we were just cracking up and watching everybody riff and play, and it was amazing.
I think that we have a whole new generation of fans who have grown up watching it but didn't get to go to the theater and see it. And so now we have this next generation who gets the in-theater experience, as well as there's a lot of just really awful things going on in the world, and I think that everyone needs a laugh right now. I think that we haven't seen this kind of like boundary-pushing comedy in over 2 decades, and so I think that it will be a shock just to be back in that kind of comedy for the first time in a very long time. I think that you have to be ready for what you're getting into. Like, you gotta be prepared to maybe be offended, and that's okay. That's where this comedy's going. They're trying to cross the lines. They are just this genius comedy machine. I mean, all of them never stop moving. They never stop creating. They're constantly telling jokes, and everyone is doing different jobs. I mean, between Marlon and Shawn and Keenan writing and producing and starring in it, but then their kids are PAs and are the new generation. So they're just this incredible creative family that just takes over the comedy industry, and it's amazing. It's amazing to watch.
Like, it was so surreal. This was my first feature, period, let alone my first comedy. So, like, that call was just, like, absolute shock. I was actually at my job, my restaurant job, when I got it. I was running around to everyone, front of house, back of house, like, this just happened. I can't believe it. I could sometimes be that. If Marlon was on set, I could sometimes be that person. Most of the time, I was keeping it together, but Marlon would throw a different ad-lib in every single take, and, like, all of us, I would say, were cracking at some moment. First day that I was in a scene with Anna, Regina, Marlon, Shawn, and just, like, sitting there watching all the improv happen, watching everything, like, to be discovered in the moment, I was like, this is like a masterclass in comedy. It was crazy. I feel like I learned so much about, like, how to share, like, because I feel like a lot of comedy is like, look at me, like, pay attention to me, but I really felt like everyone did a good job of, like, setting somebody up, letting them have the punchline, just learning how to, like, be a team player was really huge for me. Crazy. I'm so, like, still in shock that this is happening. Like, I grew up watching these movies with my cousins and, like, could not believe that this is a thing that can happen to me, and I'm just, like, so grateful. It's crazy. My favorite's still number one. I watched that and it blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know a movie could be this, and I just, like, love how smart they were with the parodies of Scream, and I know what you did last summer. It was just, I died at that one.
I'm real excited because I actually was in Scary 2, but I got cut. So I'm excited because I made the film. Oh, it's great. We have so much fun. We banter, we argue, we fight. We try to outdo each other, but we always have a great time. There were so many funny moments. It's really hard to say. Just so many funny moments. This wasn't actually a funny moment, but I was doing like a comedy move on the young actress in this, and I accidentally knocked her in the face. She's fine. She's fine. Oh, I want them to feel nostalgic. I want them to feel like, oh my God, we want to laugh like that some more and more and more and more.
Uncontrollable laughter, man. That's exactly what it was. Like, learning production, learning how to write, learning how to gel. It was a learning class, man, but we laughed more than anything, man. Actually, say you're gonna do something and do it. Do it. They have completed so many scripts and so many movies by just saying what they thought, putting it on paper, getting it done, and a lot of people can't say that, you know what I mean, especially in this business. So I learned a lot about, being persistent with them. Yeah, we was ad-libbing, like a mug. We was out there just throwing stuff out there, seeing what's sticking, Yeah, man, I can't wait for everybody to see it, man. It's gonna be fun, man.
I mean, these are people I've watched my entire life and I've idolized, and it made me laugh, and I'm just so proud to be a part of something that's main goal is just entertain, make people laugh, get people to the theater. It really does mean a lot to me. A set like this, you get what's on the script, but then they let you improv, and then Shawn and Marlon were just throwing out gold all the time. And I'm like, please use what you told me to say. I love it. There were just a lot of reactions that they were I'm not going to do it well right now. A lot of reactions that they had me do that I hope stayed in. There's few times in my life when I've been completely speechless. To be a part of something so iconic, that's how it made me feel. And then I feel so cool to my friends and my family. I'm like, I'm in Scary Movie. Yeah.
Crazy, man. I remember doing this 25 years ago, and would I have ever thought that we would do this again? No. But very exciting. I'm so happy that the Wayans got this franchise back. Those guys deserve it more than anyone. I don't think this franchise should have gone on without them in general. And I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of movies with these guys over the years. And I got to tell you, I was waiting on a bated breath to get the call. And it was very exciting. And then Marlon and I and Shawn and Mike Titus and Rick Alvarez, we did a little Zoom call where I read with some of the young cast that were going to play my child. So that was exciting as well. And yeah, it's amazing to think that they keep inviting me to the dance, I think right now the world's a bit heavy. And I think that people need to laugh at themselves and also just at humor, at certain humor in general. I think it's okay for humor to be offensive as long as it's not hateful and racial. It's okay to offend people. I mean, poke fun at each other, that's a key. And you know, people poke fun at me, I love it. So I just think that I think we're all due for a good laugh, a good chuckle right now. So.
Man, just a dream come true. You know, I feel very grateful that I'm part of the legacy, and you know, to have worked on the first one, and the Wayans family were my heroes growing up. And so, you know, now to have worked with them 26 years ago, and they've continued to keep all of us working. And then, you know, I knew first that they got it back in terms of they were back at the helm. And that is the most exciting thing for me, is that, you know, it's sort of justice served that the Wayans family is at the helm again. And I'm just grateful for anything they throw my way, you know. I trust them with my life and my death. I mean, it's in the trailer so we can talk about it, but we have the whole smile thing going on, and that's a face that I have made in the mirror my whole life. So when I found out it was going to be some smile stuff, I was like, oh, I'm ready, you know. I got it. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
It's great, man. You know, I've been 3, 4, and now 6. So I'm excited to be back. Excited to see how the audience is going to respond to this. Favorably, I hope, because we had a lot of fun making it. To be a part of this franchise is great. To get to work with my brothers and my friends and fellow co-stars who I've been a part of this journey with all these years. It's exciting. So, yeah, glad to be here tonight. I knew about it when Marlon called me a while ago saying he got the franchise back, and he had an idea of what they wanted to do in this film. So I knew about it before it was even brought to fruition. So the phone call wasn't unexpected. You know, the phone call was like, yo, are you available on these dates? And I was like, of course I am. So that's how that, but just to know what he was thinking up, you know, in advance of the movie being announced was just fun to be a part of that process, knowing what he was going to do and who he was bringing back. It's for and about the culture, and that's what it is. And you know, nothing is off limits in any of the Scary Movie movies. So yeah, you know, I can't wait for the audience to see this, and just to see what they tap into, what Marlon and Shawn and the Wayans brothers tapped into to make this a huge success.
It's always fun. I mean, obviously, you know, it's funny because they're hilarious, but I know Keegan really wanted me. He really fought to get me in the very first Scary Movie, so I was just, you know, over the moon that he really pushed to get me, because I guess, you know, they really weren't sure about me, and he said, no, she's our girl, and he was right, I was. And to this day, people still dress up as my character, Drew Decker, for Halloween, and I'm just so honored to see that. I love it. I got a call. It was last minute, just like the first Scary Movie. I think the Wayans are a little last minute with the opening scene. And I said, of course. So I dropped everything I was doing. I was working on something else. And I just said, I got to get out. I've got to be in this movie. I really want to do it. And here I am in Scary Movie again.
Most of it was just being inspired by all the amazing movies that we're spoofing and parodying. And it was really, the challenge was to take so many ideas and put them into one cohesive soundtrack, and coming up with a theme that would kind of tie everything together. So my challenge was kind of putting everything together into a cohesive score that would accompany all the madness. I think it was a tight deadline. There was a tight schedule. So I think I wrote over about 70 minutes of music and from start to finish in like less than 3 months, with full orchestra and recording and mixing everything. So that was the biggest challenge, just keep kind of getting it done on time. And that's a great question. I think that there's not a lot of scores that pay homage to 13 years of pop culture and movie culture, where you get to put Easter eggs and do meta. I mean, I'm doing jokes with the music itself, which is kind of fun. So I think that makes it special.
I think there's a lot of factors. First and foremost, the world needs to laugh in a movie theater together, and we needed a comedy. And no one, I think, has the right sensibility to make fun of the way we live our lives and what we like in pop culture, like the Wayans brothers. So to be able to get them back together for the first time in over 20 years is just, I think where there's so much built up anticipation for it. And so that's why I think to be able to let people enjoy themselves, laugh with people you don't know, what can bond people more than that? And so I'm really excited that we're bringing the comedy back, especially the R-rated comedy, back to the theatrical marketplace. I'm excited for people to have some discovery in the movie. It's been funny having the trailers, because a lot of people are saying, oh, they're giving so much of the movie away. And I'm like, no, we are not. But there's a lot of good surprises in this movie for people. They are crazy, and they will say the most outrageous things, but they're so professional and such hardworking guys that it's a balancing act for them. But certainly, they're not the types of guys who necessarily will play pranks on people or whatever. I shouldn't say that because they probably will now that I say it. But they are, they'll throw out 1,000 options, 1,000 jokes to the actors on the set. In every scene, you think you know what the scene is on the page, and you think, okay, this is an A+ scene, and then they'll take it to 10 notches higher by the time you're shooting it with improvs and with throwing out lines to actors. And so that's what's so exciting about working with these guys.